Coming up next on Small Town Big Deal, we're about to unravel the mysteries behind the season's twisted treat.
Then we travel to Michigan to visit what holds the bragging rights to the world's largest Christmas store.
This is where I need to be shopping.
Then we're off to a small town where the spirit of giving practically grows on trees.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jann Carl. I think it's safe to say that we are as excited as a couple of kids in a candy store.
And when it comes to one holiday that goes hand in hand with candy, it's Christmas.
That's right. And if there is a king of Christmas candy, it's the candy cane.
Each year, Hammond's Candies gives the world 10 million tasty, carefully wrapped, handmade reasons as to why Christmas time is so sweet.
We have to start making candy canes in December for the following Christmas.
Whether he wears his finest elf headgear or not, Andy is the Willy Wonka of the candy cane world. What sets Hammond's apart from other candy makers is that their candy is handmade.
And it's been that way since original owner Carl Hammond first opened shop back in 1920.
We just want to preserve that tradition of handmade hard candy and certainly the candy cane.
With 20,000 stores around the country selling their handmade candies, Hammond's is a made in America success story.
Somebody in every small town sells Hammond's candies and candy canes during the holidays.
Today, Andy takes us inside the factory doors with head cook Victor Ortiz. They'll reveal how the most conspicuous of Christmas candies, the candy cane, earns its stripes.
They're making Christmas memories one candy cane at a time.
This is where the magic begins.
This is where the magic begins. All right, where's Victor?
Victor brings in a giant copper kettle. It's needed for the first ingredient, 25 pounds of thick, gooey corn syrup.
That is a lot of sweet.
Next, Victor adds 50 pounds of sugar, but not just any sugar.
Colorado grows an amazing beet sugar. We'd rather use a homegrown Colorado product than bring it in from elsewhere.
Instead of farm to table, it's farm to candy cane.
Correct.
Next, 4 quarts of water are added to the mix.
Okay, Jan, let's put it on the cooker.
The cooker heats the sugary mix to 330 degrees.
The occasional stir keeps it nice and uniform.
I'm thinking how sweet that is right now.
Yeah.
As the candy cane concoction boils, we will try to boil down the historical facts of how the candy cane came to be.
There's lots of legends about the candy cane in general. The one that I like the best is in the 17th century in Germany. The choir master gave kids that were singing in the choir these sticks of candy so they would keep quiet. They would eat them during the service.
Other legends say sugar sticks were curved to make a J for Jesus, or to represent a shepherd's staff. The shepherds were the first to travel to Bethlehem to see Jesus in the manger.
Now back at Hammond's,
It's ready to be poured on the cooling table.
Andy and his staff say at 330 degrees,
Wow.
the mix is cooked to perfection.
Oh, they poured that out. It was like liquid gold. I mean, you should feel the heat.
You want it to cool down now.
To about 200 degrees. Then that's when the candy starts becoming pliable.
While it cools, Victor adds red dye to one corner. After 10 minutes of cooling, the mix will be pliable enough to be cut.
So what Victor's doing right now is he's gonna separate the two colors.
The red corner is separated out, and the remaining gold section is cut in two, leaving us with 3 sugary blobs.
That looks like a science fiction glob or something.
We're gonna pick them up, can't drop it.
We carefully grab the red mix and take one of the gold ones. The other gold one will take center stage a little later.
We load that first gold blob onto a puller, and I add some peppermint flavoring.
So now it's turning white.
That's because the stretching and pulling aerates the mix, spinning the gold to white. Think Rumpelstiltskin in reverse.
Now, these two blobs are going to get a kind of deep tissue massage.
As we knead and rub the candy, it slowly stretches.
So what you're doing right now is you're actually stretching out the red stripe to the peppermint candy cane.
And I'm stretching out what will end up being the white stripe.
Tug of war here.
Once stretched, they're pressed together. Then Victor breaks out the scissors.
We're gonna cut these edges on each side.
He trims a little red and white to place atop the last remaining golden blob.
And this is where the rest of the flavor is gonna go to.
It's loaded on the puller where Jan adds more peppermint flavoring.
You're gonna start feeling the peppermint flavor here in a little bit.
As it aerates, the red stripe trimmings blend in, turning it a pink color.
That's it.
This pinkish section will become the center of the candy cane. It's carefully wrapped.
I'm gonna take this one to the batch roller now. We should be good.
To the batch roller?
Yeah, right over there.
At the batch roller, it's reheated, just enough to become pliable again.
After 10 minutes, this becomes this.
We're gonna start stretching it and then twist it, okay?
Victor rolls it down to nearly a ½ inch in diameter.
Oh, it's starting to look like a candy cane.
The candy is cut and bent to make a hook,
This is like Dr. Seuss.
so Jan gives it a shot.
And Victor critiques.
The canes are a little bit big. They're a family size.
Leave it to me. He makes it look a lot easier.
And when we offered Victor additional help, he was gracious.
I think we're gonna pass on this one, but
Which small town holds the bragging rights to the world's largest Christmas store?
This is where I need to be shopping.
The answer when we return.
Is this for me?
No, Rodney, that's just for decoration.
What about this one?
No. That's also just for decoration.
Hey, this one's got something in it.
Oh my gosh, these are all just for decoration. You are like a kid on Christmas morning. Oh my gosh. Speaking of decorations, do you have your own go-to place for Christmas decorations?
Well, even if you do, you need to add Frankenmuth, Michigan to that list.
And if you go there, don't do what I did.
Yeah, maxed out credit cards.
It's a town about 90 miles north of Detroit with a population of about 4,400.
This town is truly a Kleinstadt große Ding, or small town big deal in German. And we're about to show you why. Cue the Christmas music. Come on, we're here.
Well, if it isn't the folks from Small Town Big Deal. Welcome to Bronner's and Happy Christmas. You are in the world's largest Christmas store, so there's only 50,000 different things to look at. We shop the world, we bring it all here for our visitors and guests to admire.
Wayne told us this all began with his father, who was a sign painter.
In the late 1940s, young Wally Bronner used his painting skills to create Christmas decorations for local Michigan towns and store windows.
People from other communities inquired as to where they got them. They said, well, there's a young sign painter down in Frankenmuth, Michigan named Wally Bronner, and that was the genesis of the Christmas business.
Can you believe this started with one guy and window decorations?
Bronner's Christmas Wonderland has now grown to occupy 27 acres and employs nearly 750 people, all in this small town of 4,400.
We've had 27,000 people come through the store in one day.
I would not like that day because I need room to shop.
We're gonna do some shopping.
You do that. All right, you won't be the only ones today, so enjoy yourselves.
At Bronner's, Christmas rocks.
Oh, that's really cool. This is where I need to be shopping.
Take note, they've got everything you can imagine.
Gosh, I didn't know they had farming ornaments.
They are not horsing around here. There are more than 6,000 different styles of ornaments.
Jen is having such a good time here. I'm not sure our van can hold all the ornaments she's buying.
Credit card, maxed out.
I needed some fresh air after all that shopping, So Wayne took us to see one of Wally Bronner's dreams.
So this is the Silent Night Chapel. Wally always had envisioned something special here. Didn't know what it was. One time he was over in Oberndorf, Austria, and there was a chapel built there to commemorate the location where Silent Night was sung for the very first time in 1818. This is a replica of the Silent Night Chapel that exists in Oberndorf, Austria. And we actually have a service here on Christmas Eve, and then we sing Silent Night in English and then also in German.
All right, I want to hear it in German.
Stille Nacht, heilige Nacht. Is that enough?
That was, I think he mispronounced one word.
Oh, yeah. I understand that we're going to get to do some crafty things and actually work with some of your people.
We're going to put both of you to work.
All right, that's what we're going to
Let's
do.
do it.
Okay.
From historical German music to a real artist in residence, we got our next cultural lesson in painting.
Paint gun style, that is, from a cool guy named Billy Budd.
I'm going to have you guys shading all these deep curves that we all have in there. Yep, you're going to do the shading.
We three kings who got painted by Jann and Rodney.
Luckily, if you guys mess up, I have some white paint. You can go back over it and erase it.
Start over again.
Rodney and Jann having a competition going on and seeing how well they compared against each other.
So I should just like get these creases. Yep, right in there. Kind of hold back a little bit. Just a little bit. There you go. Looking good, looking good. He says I'm looking good. Perfect. Halfway there. Not bad.
It was a little daunting going second. In there, a crook of his arm.
Right in the armpit.
Jan's doing pretty good.
Is that all the way down?
No, it kind of stops right in there.
So I just knew I had to bring it.
Go over it later on and put on the final coat. It evens out
You'll
everything.
fix Rodney's side. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ta-da!
All right.
I would have to say Jann, because she jumped right into it and she had the darkest shadows.
Billy picked me.
Jann did better than I. It is what it is. And she's behind me, isn't she?
Ta-da! You know, I think he turned out pretty good.
I think Billy did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think Billy deserves the credit.
How do you say goodbye to this Christmas wonderland? Very reluctantly.
I mean, it's the celebration of Christmas. How could it not be fantastic?
Up next, a Pennsylvania town where the spirit of giving practically grows on trees.
Each year it gets easier and easier to do it, and you want to give more and more.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal.
You know, Jann, these are just the coolest ornaments, and I just love decorating a tree.
So do I. I think it's my kid's favorite activity. You know, it makes me think it should be time now for a small town big deal history lesson about the tradition of the Christmas tree.
It's widely believed that Martin Luther, founder of the Protestant Reformation, may have been the first to put up a tree back in the 1500s. He was so impressed with the stars twinkling through the evergreens that he brought a tree inside the house and lit it with candles. For Jann and me, this next story centers on how Christmas trees remind us about the spirit of giving.
It can often mean helping those in need or letting somebody know how much you care.
Or finding that special way to say thank you for your service.
It's the Christmas tree capital of the world. Why else wouldn't you want a Christmas tree from here?
Welcome to Indiana, the Christmas tree capital of the world.
That's the city of Indiana in the state of Pennsylvania.
It's about an hour east of Pittsburgh, and it's surrounded by Christmas tree farms. One of the oldest and most popular is Fleming's.
This is our 72nd year here at Fleming's Christmas Tree Farms.
So it is not your first rodeo by any means.
No, not at all. That tree will do you good.
Great, we're excited.
Fleming's has over 250 acres of trees and a very big heart. Once a year, in the middle of their busiest season, they throw a Christmas bash and collect trees for the troops.
Well, my father was a veteran, and so was my brother. And when the opportunity come by to join the national program, we just jumped right in.
The Trees for Troops program was started 14 years ago by the National Christmas Tree Growers Association. Some donated trees are shipped to troops on bases overseas,
but most go to military bases right here in the USA, to soldiers and to their families, who can be especially homesick this time of year.
We're not able to be there with our families, so to know that the community's out there helping us, helping our families is a great deal to a soldier.
Last year alone, Trees for Troops collected nearly 18,000 trees from 24 different states. About 70% are given by the growers themselves, but the rest come from individual donations.
Thanks so much.
At Fleming's, you can drop some cash in the jar.
Thank you very much.
Or donate a whole tree. Then you can tag it with a personal note to the troops.
I was originally born in Bosnia, and I lived through the Civil War. If it wasn't for the goodness of people like them, I wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't have my beautiful family. So we do this every year.
When you see the replies that you get back, the thank yous, each year it gets easier and easier to do it, and you want to give more and more.
Thousands come to Fleming's every year to buy gifts in the Christmas shop or pick from the collection of just cut trees.
You get that from Santa Claus.
But to really get into the Christmas spirit, I suggest a horse-drawn carriage ride. They take you to the top of the mountain where you can cut down your own tree.
We're gonna go with this one.
You know, at Fleming's, they have 250,000 trees. The problem is, which tree you choose?
250,000 trees? Wow, it would be close to the 4th of July before I could decide on one. So it's a good thing Rodney's in charge of that. Now we found out there's another Christmas connection here that you might find quite wonderful.
Christmas tree capital of the world, also the home of Jimmy Stewart, the actor, so It's a Wonderful Life. So when it comes time for the holiday seasons, we're really big on fa la 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 la.
He actually was born here?
He was. His family, his father had a hardware store here, and there's a museum downtown that he actually selected some of the items, and he said as long as it was kept downtown for the community, for the people of Indiana County, he was okay with it.
And it would indeed be wonderful if Rodney ever selected a tree.
Exactly.
Rodney, find one yet?
Yes, I did. After quite a bit of looking, I found a very nice tree.
Ta-da!
I tagged the tree with a personal note, and a soldier from the local National Guard got it on the truck.
We'd like to add that every year FedEx delivers all those trees for free. They've shipped trees to more than 70 military bases in the U.S. and overseas.
People say there's no such thing as Santa Claus. Tell them come to Fort Drum tonight, because you're going to see the true spirit of Christmas.
My name is Philip Vidal. This is my family. We are so happy to be selected to be the receiver of that Christmas tree.
Thank you, Trees for Troops. It's not Christmas over a real tree, but that's my opinion. Thanks, Trees for Troops.
It's actually my first live tree. It smells good. I'm loving it.
Silent night, holy night, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
You know, Jan, it's really heartwarming to see how our Christmas tree growers support our troops by giving live trees to them and their families here at this special time of year.
It reminds us that this truly is the season of giving.
Speaking of giving, did your credit card company think maybe your card got stolen?
Oh, you mean when the charges came in from all that gift buying at Bronner's? No, but maybe they should have thought of that. And I know both of us were thrilled to see that at Hammond's, they are still making candy canes the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, by hand. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America. Man, I'm sure messing up production here, aren't I? I'm going way too slow.
Hey, they're artisan. They're artisan candy. Whoa, how'd you do that?
That one's going back in that pile, I bet. Okay, Jan.
Oh, you give me the...
It's not nearly as easy as he made it look.
I know.